I think I would spend it. It would have to be something on the China angle, and maybe in terms of sectors, I would certainly look at student housing, particularly in the UK, also in the Netherlands, where I believe most of their courses are taught in English, and maybe looking at the service residential. I mean, I know we touched on residential, but I think for the first time in the UK, it's being treated as a proper asset class. I think we've seen M&G raise quite a lot of money and buy into it, so I think that's quite exciting. But as a generalisation, I think it's probably countries for the opportunistic. I would invest some money where there's sort of lower investment demand, but strong available finance, and a good prospects of an exit over the next few years.
Okay, good, thank you. Michael, so where is there strong availability of finance?
Yeah, well, besides the classic or the usual suspects, I mean, of no availability, like most Southern Europe, the rest of Europe is pretty well served, let's say. And as we said before, a lot of the transactions are of pure equity plays, and so this gap of refinancing that we all talked about 2-3 years ago never really materialized. We had some write-offs, let's say, on the CMBS side, and some prices that were not really where they were expected to be, but this really big wave of distress never came, neither from the property side, neither from the lending side. Back to normal, I don't know, but when you ask me where to invest or lend, I don't know. Residential, I would also underwrite that, especially also in Germany, the large cities. There's a trend to urbanization, and this will continue. I mean, ourselves and also our children, they will live differently when they are 80 years old than our parents have lived, let's say, and what they were thinking is a desirable retirement lifestyle, and so this will continue, and good quality residential in the cities, in urban areas. This will be very much valued in the future, even more than today. And the other thing is, we mentioned that I think Poland is a good bet, even still today, although it sounds a little bit like this train has passed, but I think it is diversifying, going into the regions. And cities like Poznan, Szczecin, or Wrocław still offer a lot of opportunities. And but of course you have to dig into that, have to know your ways around, and team up maybe with somebody. But that is also a good bet, I think.
Great, thank you, Marcus.
Maybe if you want to mention a trend on the investment side, I think that the asset management capabilities and the asset management of the properties will be one of the things that heavily drive the investment decisions of a lot of institutional investors, because given the yield levels we've reached in a lot of core properties currently, they are looking for alternative sources of return, and that's one of the ways we believe that can go forward. Looking at the sector side, residential was mentioned quite a lot, and having a residential history as a company, I would say we definitely look at what's going on there. But in Germany, yes, there are still opportunities, but it might be the second-tier cities, not only the top cities, because their pricing is quite keen currently already. Nevertheless, in existing stock, there might be the opportunities, but there's a risk of what really the regulation will be from next year. Otherwise, in Europe, there are developments you see in the Nordics, in the Netherlands, developments possibly in the UK, where I'm not quite sure really. There is political support on the one side, but there are some political activities not supporting the rental market on the other side at the same time. So I think I've still not really got my mind what the future is. We're working on it, and I think there's an opportunity. And the other thing is, a lot of the investment will not be in the major cities. If you look at smaller lot sizes, as we are doing in the range between 50 and 30 million, you're moving to second-tier cities, good locations where the asset management is the key driver of the performance.
Good, thank you, Simon. Would you leverage it with Michael's money, extra money?
Oh, we'll always leverage it with Michael's in.
You did already.
So you've got his 500 million and yours.
Well, we've actually got roughly $1 billion in equity to put out, so we've got a bit of a task on.
Yeah, you can tell us.
I think if you was one big thematic, it would be the creation of core, or the perception of core. So I think what we're very focused on is making sure that what we have when we've finished with it will sell well into the institutional community, because there's plenty of demand and there's not going to be an awful lot of it over the next few years. UK, I would probably look at sort of starting to do some developments, because I think there is going to be a shortage of good quality office space, particularly in some of the bigger regional cities. In Europe, I think there's still an awful lot of creditor stress out there, so I think creditor sales in Northern Europe particularly, perhaps CEE a little bit, but although there's not a lot of creditor distress in the CEE. Italy and Spain clearly are on that list of places that have stressed creditors. I think when you're looking at creditor sales, almost inevitably you're looking at portfolios. So when you're looking at those, you have to be focused on the institutional quality of the portfolio, not getting caught with a big tail of really, really poor quality secondary assets. But what we would look for in that would be things that need capex, that when you've brushed them up would again look core. And in terms of creditors, we're looking for people who've come to the conclusion that no new money equals no new tenants. So we want people who have kind of come to the conclusion that having held on to it for 5 years, their lack of ability to recapitalise it means that they're going to lose their tenants. So I think we're a little bifurcated. We're looking for slightly different things in different places. But I think there's plenty of opportunity in the creation of core business, and there's going to be plenty of opportunity in it for the next 5 or 10 years for a lot of people.
Great, good. Well, thank you.